She had a scalpel, I had nothing.
And you know what? Up there, it doesn't even matter if she tries to eject it to minimize it. You're still going to feel it. All right. Welcome to the Town of Babylon Planning Board. Today is the 4th of May, 2026. We do have an informational hearing, so we will begin our meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. Ed, start us in the pledge, please. All right.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Hey.
Patrick Halpin.
Present.
Julianne Nolan. Gerald O'Neill.
Present?
Edward Wynn.
Present.
Juan Leon.
Present.
Dan Trushin.
Present.
Frank Santos. Greg Gaxiola. Matt Esposito. Rich Casey.
Do we have a quorum?
Yes, you do.
Okay. Before we start the public hearing, let me read the statement into the record. The planning board shall have the right to rely on any information that is presented by the applicant. If any such information is later found to be inaccurate or incorrect, the planning board may determine that any approvals, building permits, or other actions are previously granted in connection with the application are null and void. Now, I know that this is an informational hearing, and technically that doesn't apply to you, but make sure you tell us everything that's on the level. Okay. All right, so let's call the first
Item is job HPLN-26, 25-57A, Zen Leaf. Proposes to demolish an existing 1,101 square foot, 2.5-story restaurant with storage on the second floor in order to construct a 3,000 square foot adult use cannabis dispensary along with associated site improvements. Memo, you have a memo?
All right, let's see. Yes, I have the memo.
Okay.
Have you had the opportunity, council, to review this the memo with your client regarding this application?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, please state your name and address for the record.
Good evening. For the record, Nicole Blanda. I'm an attorney at Bazell Blanda Visconti with offices at 535 Broad Hollow Road in Melville.
Okay, please proceed.
And yes, we did review the Planning Commissioner's memo, which includes both conditions and covenants and restrictions, and there's no issues or concerns with any of them. We consent to all of them.
All right, thank you very much.
I'm here tonight on behalf of Zen Leaf LLC, seeking site plan approval of an adult use cannabis dispensary and associated site improvements on this property. It's located on the southwest corner of Gaza Boulevard and New Highway. It is zoned Industry G and has a lot area of 13,763 square feet. It's presently improved with an old, about 1,100 square foot structure that had a restaurant or a deli on the first floor and storage above. That's what was CO'd back in 1975. And over the years, it was used as a flower stand as well, I think as it evolved from a restaurant to a deli. It was recently sold to my client back in November of 2025. The intent would be to demolish that structure and construct a new 3,000 square foot retail adult use cannabis dispensary on this site. The curb cut that's currently on Gaza Boulevard would be closed off, and the curb cut on New Highway would remain and would be obviously improved. So we would add new curbing and sidewalk installed along Gaza, where you see the curb cut being closed off. The building itself will be tucked into the northeasterly section of the property, and there'll be landscaping both along Gaza Boulevard and along New Highway. This will help to improve the streetscape over there considerably. The curb cut for ingress and egress will be located on New Highway. As you pull into the site, there will be parking spaces to your right or on the north side of the drive aisle, and you'll have our handicap accessible space there as well, and that's where people can enter the building. Straight ahead from there, you'll see the refuse enclosure tucked into the corner, and then north of the refuse enclosure along the westerly property line are the rest of our parking spaces. We are required to have 13 spaces. We are providing 15 spaces. Up in the Thank you. Up in the northerly section of the site is our loading area for deliveries of the merchandise. It'll be easily accessible to the area within the building where the inventory will be kept. So as you can see on this site plan, there is a truck turning diagram. There really won't be trucks delivering. It'll be either Sprinter vans or small vehicles like that. But we do have the proper turning radius for loading and unloading in that area. We also meet the standards for turning radius for sanitation trucks to enter and exit the site. I believe we do have a special sheet that shows those turning diagrams if the board feels the need to look at that. But the entire site will have all new drainage structures. All lighting will be dark sky compliant, and obviously the entire site will be upgraded as a result of this project. If we take a look at the layout of the interior of the building, as I said earlier, the entrance will be at the southerly side of the building. Security, much like the other cannabis dispensaries, will be at the door scanning IDs so that no one under 21 will be permitted to enter. Then as you're buzzed in and you're allowed to enter, you'll see that there's display cases for the merchandise, and there'll be salespeople there to help the customers. There'll be various kiosks, and then what they call point of sale stations where you can make your purchase. As you move then into the rear of the building, this is where the employees can package the materials, take in the merchandise when they're delivered. There's their, they have their restroom, their staff room, small office, and the rest of it is pretty much for storage. Deliveries will be made to the site, again, by van. Any deliveries made from the site would be by an employee vehicle that the employee would then take home at night. So we're not proposing any overnight storage of vehicles and certainly no outside storage of materials. We expect to have between 5 to 6 employees, depending on the shift and the level of activity. It could go to 7 or 8. It really depends on the particular day or the particular time of day. And the hours of operation would be the same as the other operators that currently have stores in the town, Monday to Friday, 9 to 9, Saturday, 9 to 9, Sunday, 10 to 8. And it's in an appropriate area. The surrounding area is industrial uses, albeit with the exception of to the east, you have Pine Lawn cemeteries. But as the board, I'm sure, is aware, the town code doesn't consider that a prohibition for this type of use here. Those are our elevations. We did also, so there was a comment in recent departmental comments that asked about maybe adding some additional architectural features. I think sometimes elevations can look a little flat, so I added an exhibit for the board to see another location. So you can kind of see the materials that are shown in the architectural elevation come to life a little more here. And so this is the color scheme and something that would be similar or substantially similar to what we would be proposing at this site. So, if the board had any more specific questions about the architecture, we do have our architect, George Badger, here tonight from Spaces, and he can certainly answer any questions regarding materials, the type of canopy, the brick finish, et cetera. If the board has any questions for me or for Mr. Badger, we're happy to answer.
Okay, do any of the board members have any questions? No? No questions? Well, I have a question. That photo that you showed of their New Jersey facility, how does that compare with the size of what's being proposed here on New Highway?
Sure. I think it's smaller. Do you want to?
All right, hold on. You've got to do it through your attorney, or you can come up.
We believe it's smaller.
All right, okay, that's fine. Who is the expert on the industry here? Okay, do you mind coming up? Because I do have a couple of questions. Could you? Okay, you're going to have to fill out one of these, but when you finish, it's just a just your proper name and address. Could you please state your name and address for the record?
Rinkesh Setia. I live in New Jersey, 600 Kaplan Court, Toms River, New Jersey, 08753.
All right. Welcome to New York. Do you have any other?
I'm actually from New York. I'm moving back.
Okay. Do you have any other operations in New York?
Yeah, we currently operate 2 dispensaries in New York, Zenzest dispensaries, one in
Oh,
Staten
I'm
Island.
sorry. Hold on. I have to swear you in. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Okay, please proceed. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We operate 2 dispensaries in New York, Zenzest Staten Island and Zenzest Queens, which is located on border of Nassau and Queens. So we've been operating dispensaries for almost 2 years. We're pretty good name in the industry. It's very, well-known dispensary, and we're pretty put together operators.
That's good to know. I do have a question about, not about this particular site plan. It's a good site and all of that. It's a perfect location. I understand why you're there. But talk to me a little bit about over the 2 years that you've been in this business, how things have evolved in the industry, especially when you have a highly regulated industry in the States, in New Jersey and New York, with, high taxes, or your
Yes.
taxes are collected for both the state and the localities, plus property taxes. How are you able to, frankly, have a profitable business when you still have an underground economy?
Profit-wise,
I'm not asking about the profit. I'm just talking about, how people are.
yeah.
They can get it delivered to their house and all. So I presume your business will do deliveries and all of those things.
Yes.
Okay.
So we do make deliveries, yes.
But your competitors, many of them or some of them, are not paying taxes.
You're talking about illegal market or legal market?
Yes, I'm talking about the
Right.
the underground economy.
So illegal market is very you're not comparing apples to apples, because usually in legal markets get their products from out of state, mostly California. I haven't been in illegal operations, so I don't really know what their price point is.
Good answer.
It's a fact. So, but being in the legal industry, I think we are blessed, especially in Long Island area. It's not as bad as 5 boroughs in New York City, where everything is just so super close to each other. So in New York City's market is very different compared to Long Island. You look at dispensaries reputable dispensaries like Strain Store, Happy Days, Planet Nug. New one just opened up in Brookhaven, Can of Blooms. I think they're very successful because there is not a whole lot of competition. Long Island is a pretty big island. We have a huge population here. So if you compare the ratio of dispensaries between the population, there aren't that many dispensaries. So it's a lot less riskier to open a dispensary in Long Island than to open one in Manhattan, because there is just too much legal market competition, and you add illegal market, which just blows everybody out of the water. So I personally think Long Island has still a lot more room to grow, especially Nassau County being opted out. I think, there shouldn't be a problem.
Of course, you're not too far from the Nassau border.
Yeah.
This is a great country, America. At least we don't have ICE agents at the Nassau-Suffolk border
Yeah.
telling people you can't go to that cannabis store on.
We're already operating on the other side of Nassau.
No, I understand.
So, being on this.
I'm being facetious, but not very funny.
Yeah.
All right, so I get that. How important is it, and I guess I'm talking about it from the standpoint of the entire legal industry, to know that you've got product that is literally monitored from seed to sale,
Yes.
from the standpoint of your consumers knowing that the product that they get is exactly what it is supposed to be,
Correct.
as opposed to the underground economy?
I mean, customers do, they do feel safer shopping at illegal dispensaries just because of the fact that they know whatever they're getting, it has a QR code which they can scan, and they're able to find out where this product was made and literally every single detail, that product contains. So it makes our job easier, knowing that, customer can scan QR code. And most of the time, we do get educated by our vendors what that product is about. So it's easier to explain it to the customers versus when you go to illegal market, they really don't know what's in their package, right? It could be something sprayed and, might give you nightmares. But what we sell is, everything is grown in New York and everything is processed in New York, packaged in New York, and sold in New York. So it's, like I said, it's not apples to, it's apples to oranges when you're comparing it to illegal market. So that is a plus point where, when customers know that, whatever they're getting is lab tested, it's safe to use, it's not gonna send them to the hospital, so it does help out a lot.
Any other board members have any other questions?
Just curiosity, so everything's grown in New York, you said.
Correct.
There's obviously a lot of product.
Yep.
Is the vendors that you buy from, is it a vast amount, or is it a couple, is it?
So I mean, when New York State opened up, they did hand out a lot of cultivation licenses, processor licenses, right? So before there weren't that many dispensaries, maybe probably like about 2 years ago or 18 months ago, there was a problem. There were too many growers, but too little retailers.
Right.
So, now the growers can sell their products to every single dispensary because there are not that many. But now, we do have a lot of options, but not every single option is something that I'm attracted to, carrying in my dispensaries. So I can pick and choose which one I want to have a better relationship with. Obviously, I don't want to get into the operation, but price points and all of that, do they stand behind their products? Like, are they going to take it back, honor it? If there's any defective item, will they take it back? So there are a lot of factors that kind of play into it. But we have a lot of growers, a lot of processors, and a lot of distributors. We have options, and good ones. Which is a good thing in the industry because kind of puts the pressure on the price points. You get more for your buck, which helps us kind of combat the illegal market. And I think eventually that's where it's headed, where the prices are going to match to the illegal market at some point.
What?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just have a general question because I'm also not familiar with the industry that well, but is there a third party that tests the product and for purity? Is there that kind of assurance?
Excuse me. Yeah, so there are labs which test the products before they are even eligible to be sold on the market. So until the lab doesn't test the product and give them, I forgot the word, sorry, but it's basically that QR code, sorry. It's basically that QR code. It has I don't know the exact word right now, I can't think of it, but it basically tells you the history, like not the history, but like what it contains, the ingredients, how much THC it has, how much, whatever cannabinoids that the product has. So it is lab tested. I think that's usually the third party that does the testing. It's not the growers who do it.
Okay, yeah, thank you. I just wanted to make sure
Yes.
that it wasn't the
Yeah.
growers or someone in the industry, that there's an independent third
Yeah,
party.
it's usually, the third, labs are independent, as far as I know, so don't hold me to it. But as far as I know, they're all third party.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions? No? The reason why I ask these questions is, as you know, this is an informational hearing.
Yes,
So it's also broadcast. So
Yeah.
if people are watching this, we like to have you not only explain what your particular development is and and all of that, but also provide the public information about the nature of the regulations, the extensiveness of the regulations. I'm sure that the independent laboratory is also licensed by the state of New York.
Correct.
And so forth and so on. So all that needs to be part of the record.
Yes.
And not only does it need to be part of the record, because I'm personally, it's not something that I'm involved in, not at this age. But anyway, more importantly, people need to know that the quality of the product that is sold in New York legally is a very high quality that has met very rigorous standards.
That is 100%, I agree with that. In New York State, from seed to sell, everything is basically monitored through matrix system. So there is very little room for anybody to do something that's not gonna go under the radar.
You're right. And frankly, as you alluded to, you don't know.
Yeah.
And I'm not suggesting, I haven't seen anything like this, but you don't know what might be put into a product that's not sold legally.
Yeah.
You just don't know.
I mean, anything that has a New York State behind it, if it's a New York licensed product, it has to be clean. I mean, it has to go through New York State regulations. It's not like, it's not coming from California where things are just labeled. It's not like, I think, I'm not just speaking for myself or my dispensaries. I think I could say this confidently about every single New York dispensaries who are licensed. They carry only the product which are lab tested. At least as far as I know, the dispensaries that I've been in touch with, any reputable dispensaries, they're not going to just carry any products which are not licensed. It's not worth it, especially the amount of investment it takes. I don't think anybody just has tolerance to even think about, like it doesn't even come in my head to, give a chance to somebody who doesn't know what's in their product.
No, I appreciate that. And you have a lot invested into this.
Yes.
All right, Julianne?
Do you know if there are any Long Island growers?
Yeah, we deal with, do I need to name anybody?
No.
Okay, yeah, there are plenty of Long Island growers.
Is it grown outdoors or in warehouses?
It's everything. They have mixed lights, both indoor, outdoor. They have greenhouses.
And it's still regulated the same?
100%.
And the agency that licenses you, do they do inspections the same as like a liquor authority would of, a bar or restaurant?
Are you talking about the growers or retail?
No, your business.
In my business, I mean, we haven't had any inspection since we opened, but I'm subject to inspection anytime they want to come in, and, usually they're surprised, so we have no, problem having, them come.
None of your businesses have ever been inspected?
I don't think any dispensary has been inspected as of now. Unless they have a complaint against them, then New York State will come and do it, but as of right now, I mean, hopefully it doesn't happen anytime soon.
How long is your license for?
Usually it's 2 years.
Okay.
And for renewal process, we go through another whole, 9 yards with giving out all the information that we have.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
All right. No more questions? Okay, I'm going to take a motion to close this hearing. Let's see, who asked the best questions besides me? Juan? Motion by Juan.
Motion's close the record and reserve decision.
Okay, second by Frank. Second. All in favor? This hearing is closed. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, that concludes our live stream.